So as you all know, Peter's original intent for St. Petersburg was to be modeled after Amsterdam and Venice, like a city run on water. And so the original intent was there to be no bridges crossing any parts of the water. This bridge is actually fairly new. But due to the freezing of the river in the winter, as well as the unfreezing, caused like crossing the river, and the fall and the spring made it all virtually impossible, as the ice was either too thin or breaking, as well as when flooding came down from Lake Ladoga, it would just make the situation even worse, cutting the island off from the rest of the city. While there were no permanent bridges for the most part of the city, there were temporary bridges that were put in and taken out, pontoon bridges, such as St. Isaac's, which was located down the river. You can actually see a memorial to that bridge if you go down the University embankment. There's a nice big book with an excerpt from Pushkin's Bronze Horseman, thank you. And that's where the old bridge used to be held. It was made up of, pontoons would float and made up of wood, so it was easier to cross from the mainland to the island without the use of boats. That pontoon bridge was shifted up and down the river occasionally, but the main place for it is the memorial site. By the 1880s, requests for a permanent bridge were made, but it wasn't until 1912 that construction was actually started. The reason for this long delay was the fact that they wanted to build a bridge that wouldn't obstruct any view of any of these buildings or any of those buildings if you're looking at it. So they had about 54 different plans drawn up, and most of them failed because it had to be designed a way so you can look across and you can see everything without like this massive bridge in the way. Construction on the bridge was also taking a while because there were multitude of hampers, such as the weather. Flooding caused pylons to be taken out and things like that. Freezing also didn't help the situation. The original bridge was mostly constructed out of wood, and on final completion, it was finally completed in 1916 and had temporary wooden railings and a deck. The railings were replaced by cast iron ones, but it wasn't shortly thereafter, but it wasn't until 1978 where the bridge was actually, the remaining wooden structures were replaced with what you see today. This bridge also opens up every night, as you can tell, and if you're not back on the island, you'll get hosed. All right, thank you.